It's race week, and Formula One is headed into the heart of madness. Spa-Francorchamps, the home of drama, the birthplace of legends, and now, the eye of a brewing storm. After a short break, F1 is back, and this time, the Belgian Grand Prix isn't just a race, it's a firestorm of uncertainty, political shifts, wet weather chaos, and driver futures hanging by a thread. Let's not sugarcoat it. The chaos has already started. Rain is coming. The skies over the Ardennes are heavy with tension. Friday's only practice session. There's already a 31% chance it gets hit by showers, with humidity pushing 80% and clouds draped like curtains over the circuit. That means teams like Red Bull and Ferrari, both bringing upgrades, have barely any dry track time to test. And it's a sprint weekend. That means they can't afford mistakes. One bad run, and you're buried in the grid. And if you think it ends there, think again. By Friday afternoon, sprint qualifying kicks off at 4:30 p.m. More rain. A 33% chance of it hitting just as drivers are pushing flat out for grid spots. Now imagine this. 20 cars, one shot, one short session, and Spa's long, wet straights. You do the math. This isn't going to be smooth. Saturday? A mix of false hope and rising danger. Sure, it starts with sunny spells for the sprint race at noon, but there's still a 25% chance of rain. And wind, gusts picking up to 10 miles per hour, could toss cars into chaos at turn 1. After that, Grand Prix qualifying at 4 p.m. with a 40% chance of rain. 40. That's almost a coin flip with thunderclouds as the referee. And Sunday? The main event. 3 p.m. Lights out. Spa. The weather finally gives us a break. Just an 11% chance of rain, 21 degrees Celsius, and a sticky 60% humidity. But let's not forget, when it rains in Spa, it doesn't have to rain everywhere. It can be dry in Sector 1 and a downpour in Sector 2. Ask any driver, they'll tell you, Spa can bite when you least expect it. But this weekend isn't just about weather. No, this weekend marks a seismic shift. For the first time since 2005, Red Bull shows up to a race without Christian Horner at the helm. Yes, the man who led them to 8 drivers' titles and 6 constructors' championships is gone. Just 3 days after the British GP, Horner was shown the door, and he didn't see it coming. It came as a surprise, he admitted. Now Laurent Mekies, formerly of Racing Bulls, has taken over. His job? To stop the bleeding. Because Red Bull, once a fortress, is cracking. They now sit 4th in the standings. That's not a dip, that's a nosedive. But the biggest question hanging over it all? Max Verstappen. The reigning champion, the face of Red Bull's dynasty, is surrounded by whispers, rumors, even jet tracking theories. His loyalty to Red Bull once seemed unshakable. But now, with Horner gone and key figures departing, the walls around him are falling. And who's lurking in the shadows? Mercedes. Fans have gone deep, tracking jets and yachts, noticing Verstappen and Mercedes boss Toto Wolff were in Sardinia at the same time. Just a coincidence? Or something more? When Verstappen was asked, he gave no clear denial. The silence is louder than words. Even Jenson Button stirred the pot. "I'd love to see Verstappen and Russell team up," he said. Could we be heading toward a seismic driver swap that changes everything? This weekend is the first time we'll hear from Verstappen with Horner gone. His words could break headlines. His body language, even louder. The paddock will be watching, closely. And while all this unfolds, Sauber is still riding high after their fairy tale moment at Silverstone, when Nico Hülkenberg finally got his first ever F1 podium. 13 years since the team last touched the top 3. The garage was electric. Celebrations in Switzerland, the stuff of dreams. They've scored 35 points in the last 4 races. That's not luck, that's progress. But Spa, it's no fairy tale track, it's a storm. Can Hülkenberg hang on to his momentum? Or will upgrades from rivals wipe that smile away? Then there's Ferrari. No wins in 2025, but a storm of their own is turning into quiet confidence. Since Imola, they've been in the top 5 every race, 3 podiums in the last 5 Grands Prix. And now, new rear suspension work could unlock more pace, more grip, more fight. Hamilton, Leclerc. The red cars are circling. Spa could be their breakthrough. But let's be clear, nothing is guaranteed. Because when F1 hits Spa, chaos follows. Let's zoom out for a moment. Because while Spa-Francorchamps is one of the most beloved tracks in Formula 1, etched into history with its sweeping corners and heart-stopping straights, it's also the ultimate wildcard. The place where giants have stumbled, where one mistake becomes legend, where drivers whisper to the sky before diving into Eau Rouge, hoping the grip will be there. And this year, it's hosting a sprint. Not just any sprint, one placed right in the middle of weather chaos and leadership turmoil. It's only the second time Spa's hosted a sprint, and the first time, it was wet. Just like this weekend is shaping up to be. So when the lights go out on Saturday and Sunday, the usual order might not matter. Forget stats. Forget logic. This is going to be about who dares, who adapts, and who holds on. Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, all bringing upgrades, all gambling. Because when you only have one practice session and conditions flip every hour, data becomes guesswork. And guesswork at 300 kilometers per hour. That's where the sport gets deadly and beautiful. And then there's the pressure. Oscar Piastri, championship leader by only 8 points, knows what's at stake. Lando Norris just stole the British GP, cutting into Oscar's lead. Lando smells blood. He's been here before. So close to the top, only to slip. But now he wants more. Piastri needs a clean weekend, and Spa doesn't do clean. We're walking into a race where qualifying might not even happen as planned, where the grid could be decided by who guesses the rain window right, where Turn 1 becomes a lottery and Sector 2 becomes survival. And underneath it all, the political engine of F1 is revving louder than ever. Red Bull is a kingdom without a king. Verstappen, once loyal, now looks more like a mercenary. Toto Wolff, the mastermind behind Mercedes, smells opportunity. The pieces are shifting. Fast. Could this weekend decide Verstappen's future? Could one crash, one team blunder, one misjudged pit call push Max into Wolff's arms? If you think that's too dramatic, think again. This is Formula 1, where legacy is built in tenths of a second and destroyed just as fast. Even Ferrari, a team that lives and breathes drama, is holding its breath. Their Mugello filming day wasn't just for show. It was a last-ditch test. Rear suspension tweaks, handling fixes, everything to make the SF25 a real contender. And if it works, they could go from hopeful to hunter. Leclerc and Hamilton both need that step forward. One is trying to secure a future with Ferrari. The other is trying to prove he is the future. Meanwhile, in the shadows, the midfield smells opportunity. Sauber, Aston Martin, even Alpine, desperate to claw back dignity. The chaos at the top opens doors further down. Spa doesn't forgive. It doesn't wait. It just keeps coming at you, sector after sector. The drivers know this, and some relish it. Because deep down, Spa is where the gladiators shine, where champions are either broken or born. This track doesn't need fireworks. It is the fire. So here we are. Red Bull's throne is shaking. The rain is coming. The skies are turning. And 20 drivers are about to step into the unknown. This weekend might be remembered for more than a race. It could mark the fall of a dynasty, the rise of a new title contender, or the spark of a driver transfer that shifts the sport for years. And if the rain hits just right, it might deliver one of the greatest shows Spa has ever seen. So buckle up, because at the 2025 Belgian Grand Prix, nothing is off the table. What do you think, race fans? Is Verstappen already mentally out the door at Red Bull? Will chaos gift someone like Hülkenberg another fairy tale? Or will Ferrari, quietly building strength, finally rise? Let us know in the comments, because whatever happens next, this is going to be wild.